Hello, this is the achievement guide for kicking government in the seat. It requires you to complete all 4 side missions. The first one is Taxi Hunter. Now I recommend you do this when you don't have a wanted level at all. But you can do it with the army. I recommend you do it without wanted level though, because it probably works the same way as GTA does, in that it loads a certain type of vehicle in a certain area, and if you've got the army after you, then it's going to load those army vehicles instead of the taxis and stuff. That's just speculation. But all you need to do is destroy taxis with the disintegrator or the ion launcher. It's definitely worth doing it when you don't have anybody chasing you. But there we go. That's just a short, quick tip that you may want to consider. Somehow a car ended up like that. But it's just a case of going up and down the road and looking for any taxis. They're incredibly generous with the time limit they give. They give you about 4 minutes, I think, or was it 3 minutes? 4 minutes. It's about 4 minutes they give you to destroy 10 taxis, so you've got a ton of time to do it in. But it's just definitely worth doing it without a wanted level, really. As I said, there's not much to say. Make sure you've got disintegrator ammo and iron grenade ammo, and you'll easily be able to destroy those taxis. You can see the taxis from quite a far distance. The only problem is catching up to them. They kind of despawn, you know, as soon as they're out of sight.
Show yourself, man. I will be. What a. It's been a tiny slide.
Good work, Crypto!
Next is Monument Mayhem, which requires you to destroy all 10 monuments. Now you can actually kind of somewhat cheat on this one. You can destroy the monuments before you start the mission. As you can see, I start with 1 monument destroyed. Yes, I start with 1 monument destroyed. Now this is quite a tough one because the monuments are kind of spread out all over the show, and you have to go all over, and there's not really many buildings. It's just a grassy area. Not to mention the Tesla cannon type things from Red Alert 2. They kind of just shock you. So yes, it's just a case of moving, taking out the Tesla cannons from a distance, taking down the buildings, taking down the White House, going across. There's a couple of statues that are a couple of horse statues. Take this little horse statue out here. So there's a couple of horse statues. Unfortunately, these buildings were in the way, so I couldn't get a clear shot. But I took it down, and then I got that. Yeah, so you just want to keep moving fast. Keep moving fast, and don't let yourself get hit, really, which is kind of hard to do because the controls aren't fantastic. But you just do what you can do. Take that down. And yes, I've already destroyed a section of this, but take down the Pentagon, what's left of the Pentagon. Or what's been built even. I don't know when the Pentagon was fully built. It looks like they were halfway through building it there. There we go, we've got the Lincoln Memorial. that down. Now if you're lucky you'll get, there's another horse statue, if you're lucky you'll get repair pods as you go. If you're not, then you'll end up dying. This took me a couple of tries to do, although I did eventually get lucky enough to get a repair pod. Take down the White House. Take that down. There's a horse statue I should have gone to. For some reason, because I destroyed that earlier, it didn't count until I went up to it, and that's that.
Good work!
Right then, the next one is to kill 18 humans. This is fairly easy. If you've got Majestic chasing after you, then the enemies will just come to you. You can only use your Zap-O-Matic on this one. You're forced to use your Zap-O-Matic, but you can use other things like PK. I was just getting out of the area because I was almost dead, but yes, it's just a case of killing. I mean, Majestic. If you've got Majestic after you, then Majestic will spawn in the area and they'll run to you, which is a good thing. Almost ran over there as the guy power slide around the corner. But yes, it's just a case of taking out 18 people. 18 people, and that's it. Then you may want to retreat a couple of times, like I did when I was low on health. Unfortunately, the robots do tend to, or the army I should say, do tend to blast people out of the way, which is incredibly annoying. But there we go. There we go. And yes, as you can see, the army's still blasting people out the way. You may want to run away from them, as I'm doing. I'm not letting the army attack me. That robot did get quite close though at the same time. So it's a case of just running down the street. What's his face would spawn in. Majestic will pretty much spawn next to you the entire time, and you can get some easy kills on them like that. Of course, you can have the army and they pull up in their trucks, and that's that. Next is Capital Tour. Now this one requires you want to stay on the roof basically the entire time. As an EMP mine there went off. Yes, you want to stay on the roofs for the most part, just because most of the checkpoints on this one are on the roof, and it's definitely ideal. It's a lot harder to get back on the roofs once you fall off on this one. That's what I found, at least. Now, for this one, you want to sort of land on the horse. That's what I do. Land on the horse and still mess it up. But if you can land on the horse and then you can just jump off of that straight onto the next building. But I've turned around and landed onto this one. And sometimes you want to take an indirect route. Sometimes you won't be able to reach the next building, so you'll just have to do what you can to get to another rooftop. Unfortunately, I got hit by a tank shell there, which threw me off. It got rid of my momentum, so I had to go for a second try. And luckily, I got up there fine. But yes, as long as all of these checkpoints are pretty much on the roofs, so you want to just stay on all of the roofs as we go into Francois Apartments. There's a health pick up there. So you just got to fly all the way down. Now for this one, I just kept mashing X, as you can see. It doesn't let you go very far, but it keeps you up in the air long enough. I recommend mashing the X button for some of those. If you mash it fast enough, then you can practically stay up in the air indefinitely. It's definitely something I would strongly recommend doing. Onto the National Reserve, and I believe I use it again here. Yes, as you can see, I just about make it because I decided to mash the X button. down to the bank. So yes, all of these are on the roof, and you'll just want to stay on the roof, I reckon, and until the final checkpoint. And this is it. This is all of the odd jobs, all the side missions done for the original Destroy All Humans. And that's pretty much all I've got to say.